I've been threatening to do this video for a long time to really categorize and summarize the 4 different accusers that we actually know of, and I've spent hours today, literal hours, to find as much information as possible on these girls. And realistically, okay, we know 4. We know 4 of the girls that are out there, 2 of which are, no, we don't want anything to do with any of this stuff. Okay, you've got, yeah, Beatrice and Jasmin, but there's, what, 4 other ones that are out there? 4 of them, which we have nothing, absolutely nothing on. We're just going on the word of the corrupt Romanian government to say that, nope, there's definitely 2 other victims that are on here. Don't mind the lack of evidence, the lack of identification, or anything like that. And now, as is customary going forward, you know, don't want to encourage anybody to do anything stupid. I'm just simply cataloging everything that I personally could find, running back all of the different accounts that everybody else has already taken a look at. And then also, it kind of seems like your boy might have found something pretty exclusive that's out there on the internet. Something that not even Stupid Vice, or I guess, wouldn't it be property of BBC now? Not that type, but the British Broadcasting Company. They picked up that stupid documentary that, like, I think even The Guardian was like, yeah, this is kind of trash. It gave it like 3.5 stars. It's like not even worth anybody's time, mostly because hearing about the people that were in it, or at least helped or featured in some of the recording of it, sartorial shooter, other people that were inside the war room in one of the events that Matt Stupid Shea was down there and apparently enjoyed his time being a part of until it came to really exposing his yellow journalist roots. Vice recorded this in August of 2022. Didn't get around to releasing it until after Andrew and Tristan ended up going to jail. Why did they wait and sit on something for so long after a guy who was the most Googled person on planet Earth for a certain point in time got canceled? And even at that point, when everything was all being recorded, everything was all done and dusted, you didn't even want to release it then? It's because Vice multiple times wanted to go back and redo the 3-hour-long interview. They did a 3-hour-long interview with Andrew, and all they could get was a 30-second clip of sartorial shooter storming out of the interview. That's all they got. That's all they got. They wanted to run it back, but hey man, we got all this other stuff, and then we could also throw in the allegations from the UK way back in the cut. That's also been rolled into all of this stuff as well. That got blasted out on BBC 3. I don't know how many people watched it. Don't really care either way, because everybody who did waste 45-50 minutes of their life listening to Vice's warped recitation of events, they got a one-side propagandizing of the Tate brothers, the war room, all of that type of stuff. So, you know, just being a humble information merchant on the internet, I figured might as well categorize everything, right? So we know what we know when it comes to Bianca and Jasmin. They're the ones that say, we want absolutely nothing to do with this investigation at all. We are not victims. Hell, we consider the Tates family. Okay, so that's 2 down. Like I said previous, and there's 2 more girls that nobody knows if they exist or not. Nobody's ever heard any of the claims. The girls can't even back up if there are 2 other girls that are down there that could be considered victims at all. All we have left is the Moldovan girl and the American girl. And so, like I was saying before, I tried to search for everybody's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of the accounts that could possibly be out there for any of these girls to find any of the source material. But it's all been snatched up, privated, deleted, all of them. All of the different aliases, except for a few. And I've got them. When it comes to the source material, though, kind of have to have an inside correspondent, and, well, I'm pretty cool. I don't quite have those types of connections, but the boys over at Fresh and Fit definitely do. And we aren't going to play any of the video that they have. I just simply got the stills because, hey, man, they did great work and still continue to do good work on this stuff as well. I'm not here to steal anybody's content. I just want to catalog everything in a one-stop shop, as it will. So y'all probably remember the little TikTok dance that was going on at the time. You remember? Oh yes, everybody was just dancing around the Tate compound. How adorable, right? Everybody having a great time, just dancing about. So okay, actually you can see in the frame that's right there, if I can just back it up just a hair. Okay, so there you have right there the blonde. That is Aliona Untila. That's her name, the little blonde that's right there. Okay, and she's the one who has made the most ridiculous claims when it comes to Andrew, specifically. She was the one that tried to exploit Andrew for the 200,000 euros in order to move her sister over from Moldova. She wanted to become TikTok famous, and trying to find any social media presence of these girls, it's very, you would think somebody who wants to have a social media presence would have either have tried before or have some sort of a footprint that just really hadn't taken off. So their lack of appearance online raises a bunch of red flags to begin with. So a little bit of history on Aliona, who you might remember was a central figure when it comes to the WhatsApp messages leak going back and forth with Emma, who we'll detail in more depth here in a quick second, in order to convince the judges that he did not do certain things to the women from the Republic of Moldova who filed the complaint in his case. So one person's name's on this. One person, huh? Interesting. Andrew Tate told them how he met her in a strip club in London and how he asked him, this is all just roughly translated as well. You know, Google translates good and it's fantastic. It's just some of the grammar is a little bit off, so I'll leave there. But also ended up doing after she came to Romania. Andrew Tate claims that the woman asked him for a lot of money to buy a house for her sister in Chisinau, but she also dreamed of a beach bar and a television show. Oh, we know all about the television show. Selling their story to Hulu or Netflix or Amazon Prime. You know. British millionaires. Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested in Romania since December 30th, 2022, and the case open for 9 months. Yeah, because all of these investigations started at the end of April in 2022. So we're coming on about a year at this point in time, and still, what's your evidence? Sketchy at best, in which the prosecutors of the Directorate of Investigations and Crime of Organized Crime and Terrorism, need a clunkier name, crimes and crime into the same acronym, come on now, them with forming a group criminal and human trafficking by exploiting several women in a video chat studio. Yeah, Andrew Tate is accused of forcible sexual copulation. There you go. By a woman from the Republic of Moldova who filed the complaint shortly after the first search at the Piera Villa and the Tate brothers and the video chat studio made in April of 2022. Yeah, funnily enough, it's all detailed right there. Yeah, we need an Oscar. Let's go. Let's go play it cool. And change my name. That's why we can't find very many concrete profiles that are out there, because these girls are awfully good chameleons. That's one thing that they're good at, changing their name and making their accounts very private. No TikTok, no nothing like that. It's just weird. You wanted to be a big star on the internet, girl, but nobody can find you. Very, very odd. Although there was a complaint of forcible stuff and other kidnapping, Dagat prosecutors did not arrest the brothers until December 29th. It's technically still not arresting because they're all still on preventative detention. It's kind of a difference without a real differentiation. So Andrew Tate Dagat lied by omission. The Tate brothers failed to convince the court to release him on either, December 30th, January 10th, February 27th, or 25th. Like, there's so many different instances of the court not listening to reason. That exclusive that Andrew and Tristan Tate demanded a PlayStation and hairstylist in custody. How did the police? We gotta look at that here in a second, because that shit sounds hilarious. Outraged by the situation, Tate said he respects the judge's time and that he would like hours to destroy the myth of the 75 mistakes, which are like a Shakespeare play. He emphasized that he would do this in writing. Andrew Tate asked that Dagat would have focused on the very narrow channel that it has followed to construct the case, and has lied by omission, not taking into account the evidence in its favor, sorry. When I refused to give them the requested money, this is Aliona, remember, within 48 hours, she filed a complaint with Dagat, then she left the country. Oh, and we got some pictures. Well, actually, Fresh and Fit do, and again, I can't access any of the accounts that are out there. They got screenshots of it, and I'll play it for you guys here in a moment. Okay, moreover, Andrew Tate told the judges that how he met one of the victims on the file, more precisely the woman from the Republic of Moldova, who accuses him of forced fun time. The Briton said that he met Aliona in London. You're also going to notice from every single reporting outlet nobody wants to use the names of anybody who are trying to imprison the Tates for the rest of their life. It's very strange how they're protecting the identities of the accusers who have fuck all for evidence. Very strange. And worked in a strip club, had problems with drugs, and asked him to take her to Romania, and he agreed. Andrew Tate emphasized before the court that the woman came to Romania alone, and that she asked to live with him when she arrived. However, knowing she was a drug addict, she told her to stay with his assistants, Georgiana. Andrew Tate also told jurors that the woman sent him messages every day for 12 hours, but although they exist, prosecutors who had access to them ignored most of them, considering only small fragments. Yeah, that doesn't sound like anybody's being forced to be there, but come on now, come on. Another interesting aspect that Andrew Tate explained about the woman from the Republic of Moldova who accuses him, the complaint filed to Tate is the fact that she asked him for money to open a bar on the beach and to play in a television show and become famous on TikTok. Moreover, the woman allegedly asked him, says Andrew Tate, 200,000 euros to buy a house for his sister in Chisinau. I have no idea where the fuck that is. And I refused to give her the money. Within 48 hours, she filed the complaint with Tate with an imaginary story and then left the country. But as you can see right there, it's kind of a blurry photo, and obviously it's like third-hand screenshots at this point in time. You've seen her in those other TikTok dances that are out there as well. Actually, let's see, yes, she is the one all the way on the right, circling her right here, okay? And then the other girl who we'll be talking about very, very shortly is on the left, and the one in the middle is, I don't know, just a goer or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, when she's all dolled up, not terrible. Not terrible. But a big step down from what Andrew's normally used to dealing with. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But in the days after the first raid happened in April, well, Emma and Aliona decided to get flued out of the country. Then they went to the French Riviera, and as you can see there, taking pictures, that's there. And then, also on the beach, and that furry fatale, that's one of the pseudonyms for Emma. One of the many, many that are out there. And yeah, you can't get access to that account because it's been closed or privated down. And then you have Aliona's personal Instagram account, which again, Instagram it's just a magical thing that they have right there. It's just really amazing. And yeah, as you can see in the background, not exactly a cheap destination, I would say. And then yes, in Paris, France, wearing a gigantic Rolex. I think that's what, I have no idea. I don't know watches like that, but I definitely know that's a Bentley right there. Days after alleged human trafficking, after being forced to do unspeakable things against their will, they're out there partying with a guy's watch on her wrist and driving somebody else's Bentley in Paris, France. Again, really screams victim to me. And then more fun information as well. We got the censored man once again. More information on these two girls right here. And this will put a nice little bow on Aliona because her and Emma are central to this. Because they're the only ones that are really, you know, out there like that. So just playing a little bit of this. Don't need to play the sound because I don't know if that's copyrighted music or anything like that. But this is the closed circuit. Yeah, this is the security cam footage that the prosecution is not looking at. Like I said before, yeah, they went out to the road and got pizza. Okay, so that would be... not exactly sure. I think that's Emma right there. So yeah, goes out to the road, and hilarious little memes that they have on there. Yeah, go out to the road, get a pizza, and then there's Aliona, and then there's Emma one more time. Going outside, waiting for an Uber or a ride or something like that. Waiting, you know, just obviously they needed to pass it past everybody because they're being human trafficked, guys. Like, come on, they have to see. There's the security guard that's out there, and obviously he was willing to shoot in order to keep everybody behind bars. So most of you may be aware that the women had a eureka moment, and they wanted to hide their identity, so they couldn't be held accountable should their lies come to light. Absolutely. And then, yes, the WhatsApp messages come out, have to change my name, start with whatever, well, and then he found out some information as well. The 6 identities of the U.S. woman. Okay, so you got Furry Fatale, that was the first one that we looked at. Dara DeVille, official, where she has a bunch of music that is out there, and music is going to be a through line when it comes to Emma. That and... also some unsavory allegations as well, but that's one. Those are 2 of her monikers. Okay, so Dara DeVille, Eden Eternal, Couldn't find anything about Eden Eternal, but obviously you can match tattoos as well. That's the same girl that's out there. Okay, so nothing's changed on that one. Sound Sinner, I have no idea. And those are blurred out, by the way. And plus, they're small enough. I should be able to just get past that. So, Sound Sinner, couldn't find anything when it comes to that. But what is, who is she? What is she? Well, Emma Gabbey. Emma Gabbey is her real name. Her accusations are being laid on Tristan's name. And as we compared and contrasted previous partners of Andrew, we can do exactly the same for Tristan, because he's the let me run that back one more time. Tristan used to be shacking up with this Bianca Dragusanu. I have no idea who she is, but I found out really quickly who she is. Shout out to Tristan one more time. And she also has a kid or something like that, a daughter, so maybe they're just a little bit more than boyfriend, girlfriend. Don't know, don't really care. The kid has nothing to do with that at all whatsoever. Just Tristan does verifiably have a daughter out there in the world, so hopefully she can see her father very, very soon. Because as you can see right there, the police descended on the Pierre villa of brothers Tristan and Andrew Tate after they allegedly kidnapped a woman of American origin. Now this one runs all the way back to April 11th, I'll just scooch down a little bit. April 11th, 2022, of American origin, Emma Aida Gabbey. That is Furry Fatale, weird. That is Dara DeVille, Sound Sinner, and that is Emma Attorney, whatever. But if she wants to start making accusations on the Tate's name, well, she wants to use real legitimate government names. Might as well return in kind. And like I said, it's really tough to find any information about these girls. Like, we got a Facebook account that hasn't been active at all since 2014. Born in New Orleans, Louisiana, a little Asian girl. Okay, so everything checks out there so far, but this is back from 2014. A lot can change over the course of 8-9 years, right? Then we got a Twitter account that hasn't been active since 2015, but it never fucking fails. It's a fun little trick that you can normally do with weirdos in society, where they will always, if they have a Twitter account, they always end up being in the replies of Donald Trump or saying something stupid about it. And well, the self-professed unprofessional musician and a professional hormonal ball of crap. That's a good type of girl that you definitely want to associate yourself with, right? Real Donald Trump. Actually, you're pathetic for blaming America's problem on one human. The epitome of disaster begins with you, Trump, says the false accuser. Hilarious. But then there's also an Instagram account. An Instagram account that hasn't been active in about 6 years. Like, this was posted, and this was one of the most recent posts. Actually, it is the most recent post that's out there. January 23rd, 2017. So legitimately over 6 years at this point in time. And as one person perfectly lays out right here, there's a bunch of different suspicious things that have been happening. Because she has 4 different accusations on her name, including the Tate situation. So of the 3 other ones that are out there, so in 2016, Emma runs away from home. Interesting. What do we have on that one? Well, missing endangered 15-year-old. So this was back in 2016. Emma Gabbey, missing. Maybe carrying a guitar. So as you can see, music runs through all of this stuff as well. And she was quickly found shortly after this. I guess it would be an Amber Alert. She is 15 after all. So she's a runaway after all. Okay. Emma versus Mr. Fox, another grape allegation in 2017. I've heard mixed stories. I can't corroborate any of this stuff. All I'm telling you is what I can hear through the grapevine. After that fake allegation was put on this guy's name, he may or may not have self-deleted. So she definitely got a body count on her. One that might involve somebody hanging from the rafters. But then, what's this? Emma versus family member Kenneth Fisher, domestic violence allegations. Now, I was trying to find a Kenneth Fisher in the Delray, Florida area. Now, it's the pretty popular place, and it's a fairly basic name, so there was quite a few people that were out there. But in my search, I found a court case. I found a court case, which is incredibly interesting, to say the least, and it's all closed up, and, well, it was tried in family court, and it's closed now, because it was another false allegation. Imagine that. Imagine that. She has a history. 4, including the Tate accusations. 4 times a liar, bro. Changing attorneys. having it dismissed by the judge, disposed by the judge, final judgment book, agreed to final petitioner, present with counsel, respondent, present with the counsel, final injunction in effect until July 15th, 2020, signed by the judge. She was sent a notice to appear, wouldn't show up. Again, don't know the underlying cause about any of this stuff, but there she is. Emma, Aida, Gabbey v. Kenneth Fisher. Couldn't link her specifically to anybody on Facebook because you take a look at anything that's about her. Like, okay, what about family, you know, contacts or anything like that? It's just a Rebecca Gabbey. It's a family member. Looks nothing like anybody else. I was trying to link it together with another Kenneth Fisher that's on there who was also hooking up with an Asian looking lady. Some of the things were looking close, but not close enough where I'd want to put anybody on blast. But for a girl who was trying to get social media famous, not having any links to any previous social media that's out there, not having any success, not even attempting to do anything in the previous decade online, I find this to be incredibly suspect, to say the least. But since we have all the dour stuff out of the way, I want to read this story because, well, we found it on the fly, so fuck it, we do it live. Andrew and Tristan Tate demanded a PlayStation. It demanded is a strong word, and a hairstylist in custody. Well, if you are to believe any of the tweets that are going out on behalf of Andrew Tate on his official Twitter account, full head of hair, long old beard, every single time you see the boys hop out of the van going to and fro the courtroom, you notice that they're not exactly in the best of shape anymore from a grooming perspective. But we do have some interesting insights on this, if these are from people that are actually on the ground, because this is Grandul, apparently a local outlet, from what I can gather. Okay, so brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate requested the management of the Detention and Preventative Arrest Center of the Capitol Police. The acronym is crap. You can't make this stuff up. To bring a game console to their room. At the same time, the British millionaires also asked for a hairstylist, given they would have said that they could not use personal hygiene items allowed in custody. That would make sense, you know, giving somebody a razor, a pair of scissors, things could go sideways if they weren't the Tates. Police sources revealed for Gandul, sorry, there's no N there, it's just an A, that shortly after the incarceration, the British millionaires would have managed to make their lives easier. In a sense, in the evening at shift change, they received shawarma or steak cooked at luxury restaurants in the north of the capital. All right, well, at least they're getting some amenities because they're just being held against their will, devoid of any charges, so I guess something good is coming out of this. In addition, because the authorities seemed sympathetic to them. That's good. That's good, I guess. They allegedly requested a PlayStation game console be purchased for them so they could play games on a television, especially since they are in the same cell. We haven't had very much information as to what the lodging situation is with the brothers, like if they're both being held in separate custody or not, or just some secondary information from different sources that no, they're being held opposite of one another. They only see each other for an hour a day. That's about the closest that we have to concrete that at least the brothers are being kept together, or at least close enough where they could play a game of, I don't know, Spyro, like what the fuck's on the PS5 anymore. On February 2nd, before entering Dicot headquarters, they were supposed to participate along with his brother in a computer search. Tristan Tate gave the journalist 2 handwritten tickets. Dicot's evidence against us and our friends Beatrice and Jasmin made videos on TikTok in the year of 2021. That's why they are in prison. Ask Dicot for samples. Ask the judge who influences them. Tell the world what's going on. That would be the 2 girls that are right there that want nothing to do with this at all whatsoever. It's simply the courts putting that on them. In addition to the request for the PlayStation had not yet been approved either. Weird. Oh wait, no, I missed some stuff there, very important stuff. After the incident, the detention regime of the British changed radically, and they began to receive specific treatment for detainees considered dangerous. Oh, okay, so that's where the mix-up and that's where the other information that they're being held separately comes in. As a result, they are no longer able to get steak cooked in luxury restaurants and no other perks. Well, it's not like the taxpayer was footing the bill in Romania. Like, let's just stop with the dramatics for a second. In addition, the request for the PlayStation has not yet been approved either. Not likely to either, but again, if they're actually charged with something and being held awaiting trial, that would be a totally different situation. Still aren't, though. The sources cited that when Andrew Tate was asked where his console was, he was told that in custody, prisoners don't play, they pray. And he's like, all right, bet. However, the Tate brothers did not give up, and they would have returned with a new request. This time, they allegedly complained that they could not use the disposable razors allowed in detention. It's probably those stupid safety razors that just end up taking a layer of skin off your face and no hair. Wild shit. And asked to be allowed to bring in a hairstylist from outside the detention facility. The request was also rejected. Fucking why? They benefit, however, from the purchases made according to the law by the representatives for the Central Detention Center, who make their market for the inmates who have money and accounts opened. Okay, yeah, just commissary accounts like you'd have in the United States. Okay, at the Detention and Preventative Center, according to the sources cited, the Tate brothers generally buy themselves fruits and sweets, but also personal hygiene items such as toilet paper and soap. You have to buy your own toilet paper in this fucking shithole? Holy Christ. Well, I guess that's why they offer toilet paper, because of the accommodations. And then, yeah, the rest of that stuff just, you know, kind of recaps where we're already at this point in time. So, no PlayStation and no stakes inside this unjust, unlawful, abusive detainment. Cataloging how those girls are cap. I don't know when this ends. Another 3 months, maybe they'll levy some charges then, maybe they'll figure something out at that point in time, or eventually social media pressure, real life pressure will finally get the best of the Romanian authorities, and the Tates and the girls will finally be able to go home. So feel free to look through any of the sources that I'll provide in the description. Share it as far and wide as you want. Clip out whatever the fuck you want, whatever you think is relevant, because I just want to see the guys home. This is totally unjust. I'm supporters of the Tates, but even me being impartial when I take a look at the evidence here, rather the lack thereof, then I take a look at the behavior of the so-called victims, either the ones that want nothing to do with this or the ones that just want the clout off the back of this. I don't possibly see how the brothers, how the girls could be held in custody for this long. But until the next evidence drop, I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.